Yay.
Oh, wait a minute, I went away. Dang. I'll be right back. You still hear me?
Yes, I'm ready to start. So go ahead.
You can't see me though, but wait a minute. Because it went out. But I'll be back.
All right, here I go. I'm gonna start talking.
I'll be back.
Okay. All right, we are in. Yay. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can see me and hear me. I'm looking to see. I do believe. Yes, I am seen and heard. All right, how are you, everyone? It is great to be here, and technology has been kind to us, even if it's been kind a couple of minutes late. It's so good to be with you. My name is Trenace Richardson, and I'm the founder of Real Women, and we exist to create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves. And this is our weekly Wednesday night chat where we give you a sneak peek into a real conversation with real women. And I would love for you to share and let someone know that we're on right now. If you wouldn't mind, this would be a blessing. I promise you, this conversation is going to be a blessing to somebody else. So if you wouldn't mind sharing and letting someone know that we're on. Also, if you would let us know that you're here, and I'm sharing too. That's why I'm looking the other way. I'm making sure that folks know that we're on as well. And so we'd love for you to share and to let us know that you're here. Say hello. I have a special guest with me tonight. I'm saving her for a surprise, so you have to tune in and say hello to us so I can get started and share my special guest. Again, I'm gonna share this out. I've done my sharing on our Real Women page, and I'm hoping that you say hello to us. Let's see. Do I have any hellos yet? Let's look and see. All right, I see some of you are coming in, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Real Women is a nonprofit. We are 501c3. We've done things officially to make sure that you know that you are pouring into and investing in good ground when you support our work. And you can do that in a million different ways. You can attend these weekly sessions. You can attend our virtual sister circles. We just had an amazing virtual sister circle this past Saturday or not too long ago. And as a result, it was almost 100 women up there really just connecting in a real and intimate way. We host these virtual sister circles, but we also, in non-COVID time, we host physical in-person sister circles. We've started in the DC, Maryland, Northern Virginia, and Hampton Roads, Virginia area, but our goal is to get to the place where every woman has a safe space and a circle of sisters, no matter where she lives in the country and abroad. And so we are looking forward to coming to a place near you. But until then, our virtual space is open to you every Wednesday night. And then we have some May Sister Circles coming up that we're gonna let you know about in the very near future. We would absolutely love for you to say hello to us, to let us know you're on tonight. I see some of you all that I know and my special guest knows. So say hello to us, send us some likes and some loves. And I'm going to go ahead and add my special guest on. So I got to give her a forewarning, let her know I'm going to add her on. It's my mama, y'all. So excited. Okay, so her name, even though that's what I know her as, her name is not my mama. So I'm gonna give her. So this is Gloria Whitfield-Johnson, and we are looking forward to this real conversation with you all. My mother has been my superhero all my life. And so I am so elated to share her with you all. COVID may have us at a small distance and we live in two different states, but I think we're as close as a mama-daughter could be. And so I'm looking forward to us sharing with you all. Oh, we got some loves and likes already, Mama. Yay! So I'm sure some of your fans are going to be up here soon. Let me tell you all about my mother. So Gloria Whitfield-Johnson has been a wonderful wife and mom. She is widowed now. She has, in her professional career, gotten degrees in accounting and been a teacher, and has done folks' taxes and done all of these wonderful things professionally. And she's now has the opportunity to continue pouring into higher education. But aside from that, she is a deaconess at her church. She is an amazing songstress. Some folks know this about me, and some folks are still discovering it about me, but I sing. And my first superhero, everybody looked on TV or looked on records for their superstars when it came to singing. I was able to look in my house and look right in front of me in the choir pulpit, in the choir, on the choir stand, and see my mother, because of how anointed she is and how many folks she blesses on a regular basis. And so it is my honor and my privilege to share my superstar with y'all today. Yay, Lori's up here. So not only has she been a songstress and a psalmist at her church, and whatever church she's a part of, everybody wants her to sing at every wedding and every funeral, all those things. She gets invited constantly to those things, but she has even moved into a second part of her life these days and is traveling. Hold on, wait for it, hold on. She is traveling across the country with Pharrell Williams and the Voices of Fire as a result of a program, a group, a TV special that is coming out on Netflix, the forming of a gospel choir based on Pharrell Williams and his uncle, Bishop Williams. And so I'm just happy to share her literally with the world now, because she's been to California and she's been on TV shows and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sharing somebody special with y'all, whether you know it or not. You want to say hello to folks, Mama, and anything else you want to say about yourself that I haven't already said?
Well, hello, everyone. Good evening. It is a deep pleasure for me to be here this evening. I count it a blessing to even be here with the COVID-19 going on. Mm-hmm. God is good, and his mercy does endure forever. Mm-hmm. I'm just a person that loves God, loves her family, and I love people. Mm-hmm. And that's all I do, is try to help people if I can. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living will not be in vain.
Mm-hmm. And you do, thank you for that. You do, so many folks are a witness to you being a blessing to them and being a help to them. And so I know that that some folks can be a testament to how you've been a blessing to them. I know it starts with me and my brothers and my family. So thank you for that. I guess I'll ask you first, since you mentioned it, because we have a lot of places we're going to go in this conversation, y'all. If y'all want to ask anything about mommy-daughter dynamics, we are your girls for the next half an hour. Yes, we are your girls. So anything you want to know from a mommy perspective or a daughter perspective, or just, the sharing of the two. In addition to that, you all know this is not just you listening in on a conversation, but I like to interact with you all. And so I would love for you right now, especially as we're moving into Mother's Day, into that season, if you wouldn't mind sharing with me in the chat what your relationship is with your mom. Maybe you have a mom who has passed on and gone to be with the Lord. Maybe you have a strained relationship with your mom. Maybe you have a wonderful relationship with your mom. If you wouldn't mind sharing, maybe someone else has stepped in as a result of tragedy or trauma or absence and taken the place of your mom. Whatever you want to share as it relates to your mom and daughter or son dynamics, please share those in the chat. So as I'm asking my mom some questions, I can come back and reference the chat. So you can either ask us questions or please share your mommy-daughter dynamics with us as we're chatting. But I want to ask you, because you mentioned COVID-19, Mommy, with all of this stuff happening around, how are you coping with it? And kind of what are you doing to stay well physically and mentally?
Well, physically, I am doing as the federal government asked us to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing my mask. I'm wearing gloves whenever I go out. I don't go out now as often as I did, but I do have to go to the store sometimes and to pay bills. So I do those things. And if I'm asked to sing on a Sunday morning, with just 10 people there, I sing. So that's what I'm doing physically. I do work from home. I work at Strayer University, Virginia Beach campus, and I do work from home right now because of this. And Strayer has been really good to its employees, really good to its employees. Nobody has been laid off or anything. Everybody's getting paid. So I thank the Lord for that, because there's so many people now that are laid off and do not have jobs and are depending on the unemployment and haven't gotten it yet. So it's the times that we're living in, but it's the signs of the times too, if you read your Bible. I won't go there.
I know you would.
I won't go there. And so working from home helps with my mental state because I'm doing something. So working from home. And then I listen to music, especially gospel music, because that's what I like. And that's what I sing. But I'm not, again, listening to something else. I do listen to other music sometimes. And then I'm praying. I'm praying for myself and the world. I'm praying for the world at large. I'm praying for the ones in high places, because we need God now. We need God as we never have before. And as I said at the beginning, I'm blessed to be here because I'm one of those that's in that bracket of 60 and over, and also the one with some health issues. So I thank the Lord for that. And I don't linger on my health issues because I know God has it. He always has had it. Because like in 1995, I almost died. I won't tell that story now, but God has blessed me and I thank him for it.
Thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of us have done a whole lot of what you just mentioned, and you may have given some of us some suggestions on how to cope with everything that we're dealing with right now. So thank you for that. And so some folks, Mommy, are putting in the chat sort of what their mommy and daughter dynamics are. And before I ask you your next question, someone said, my mother is my heartbeat. Someone is loving how special this moment is that you and I are on right now.
Oh, that's so nice.
We got some folks from Ohio saying hi to us.
Oh, well, hello.
And then Lori said, my mother's no longer here. I just found an old audio tape of her. It was wonderful hearing her voice after all these years. And she wished both of us happy Mother's Day.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and so some other folks have mentioned that there were some strained relationships as well with their moms because of, upbringing and all those types of things. And I'll just say for me, I really appreciate the balance that you brought, that we were in a God-fearing home and you didn't take anything else other than that. You required that we were in church. You required that we did certain things certain ways, but you also gave us room to be who we were. I had the opportunity to do theater. I had the opportunity to sing. My brothers had the opportunity to do sports and things that interest them. And so I just really appreciate the balance that that you gave us. And you did it for so many years as a single mom. You did, have married life experience for many years. But I really want to focus for a moment on your single mom years, because it was during that time that you had to figure things out, figure your mothering thing out with just you, right? So, and I know you had a support system, because I know how wonderful my grandparents and my aunts and uncles were. But I would love for you to speak to how difficult a time it was for you as a single mom, and what lessons you might even share with some single moms today.
Well, I hadn't planned to be single.
Yeah.
But I ended up single.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been married for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when a mother is single and she has children, she does all she can for them most of the time. I can't say all the time, but most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
She does all that she can for them. I was blessed to have had a college education, and I taught in Chesapeake Public Schools. So I was blessed to have had that behind me, so that I could provide for the three of you. But in providing for the three of you, I still didn't have enough. So my mom and my dad stepped in a lot, a whole lot. Then the family stepped in. My sisters and my brothers stepped in and helped me as well. And then the extended family, aunts and uncles, stepped in and helped me. And then I had my church that stepped in and helped me. So I had a system behind me. What they say, there's a village. It takes a village. And it took a village for me, because I had three children by myself that I was raising, okay? I don't like to throw anybody under the bus, so I won't talk about the other part of that. But God was good to me in that I had that support system. And even though I had that support system, at the same time, there were many times when I thought, Lord, how am I going to make it? How am I going to make it? Because a lot of times people would just do for me and I wouldn't even have to ask. But then sometimes I would have to ask for help. And you don't want it to seem like you want to ask people all the time for the help that you need. And I, at one point, I remember you told me years later that you didn't even know we were poor. Okay, you didn't even know we were poor, but we were. When you were in the pageants and doing all of those things, that took money. That took money. So I had to have money to do that. And most of the time, I got by doing it. But then some other things sometimes got lacking, But I had that help. I had that help there. If you are single and you don't have help, I do understand. Because it takes help when you are a single parent, and you are not making the money that you should make in this day and time. And most times women are the ones that are left behind making less than the man.
Wow.
So I do understand that women today are further up on the scale. I do understand that. But at the same time, things are higher, much higher than they were years and years and years ago. So it takes what they're making in order to help them with their children. The best suggestion I can give anybody, if you're not in God, you need to be in God. If you're not in church, you need to get in church, because those things will help your mental mind. Seriously, they will help your mental mind. They will keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind on Jesus. And you might be saying that, why is she talking about Jesus a lot and all the time? Because this is how I got over. This is how I got to where I am today. Because I called and prayed on the name of Jesus. And Jesus helped me in my hours when I needed it. There are times when you are going to be alone and you're going to want a man. Okay? You're going to want a man. But
say, Mama. Did you?
Don't do some of the things that I did. And I ain't gonna tell you what they were. But all of them weren't nice.
Right.
So I want you to know that you don't have to have that at the age that I am now, and at what God has given me.
Mm-hmm.
I can see for myself that if I had done what I needed to do a long time ago
Mm-hmm.
with God completely on my side,
Yeah.
not halfway, but God completely on my side, if I had done my part at that time, God would have done his part.
Mm.
And I wouldn't have struggled so. I do believe that I wouldn't have struggled so.
Yeah.
But if you get to that point, what the girl used to tell me, a girlfriend of mine used to tell me, she's dead now, God bless her soul.
Mm-hmm.
But she used to tell me, she said that when she got to feeling like that, she said she would go upstairs, take a cold shower, and then she would put some clothes on, and she would go out and she would help somebody. She said, help somebody do something. I take somebody to the store. I take them some food because she cooked a lot. She said, I take them some food. She said, I go visit. I go do something, and it would get it off my mind. It would get it off. It would get it off of the mind.
That took the edge off.
Until the next time it came back.
That is good to me. Okay, so I want to capsulize because you said so much and it's so good. Because I asked you how you were coping with all of it, and so you are a witness and a testament that God can bring you through that. Through your following Christ and the teachings of Christ, you have been able to get,
right.
And you would advise that to anybody because
right.
You said it kept your mind.
And he also brought me through my mess.
Yeah.
Okay? He brought me through my mess.
Yeah.
Because the devil meant it for bad, but God turned it out for my good.
Yeah.
But the Lord brought me through my mess, and he'll bring you through yours too.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I want to go back, in addition to what you just said, to your support system. Mm-hmm. And I love what you said, that sometimes people just did for you, but there were also times that you had to ask for help. Mm-hmm. And it, as painful as it is to our pride to ask for help, you did it for the sake of your family. And you're right. There were times when you've done things and you have maneuvered in such a way where I didn't know that we were going without that there was any lack, because you were providing, and with the help of God and the folks around you, your support system, everything you just said, things were provided for. And so I thought it was a good day when I was eating beans and franks. I just thought that was a meal.
That was all I had.
When I was frying bologna and letting the bubble pop up, I just thought that's what people ate. So I loved it. So thank you for all of that. I want people to know that, in addition, because of all of what you had to do, mm-hmm. and sacrifice, that you put a lot of your life on hold, that you've always had. Literally, I grew up hearing about how you grew up singing. I really followed in your footsteps in church, because I started singing in the kindergarten choir and didn't lead a choir until I left to go to college, and then started in choir at college. Mm-hmm. So that's my understanding about you singing, that you've been singing since you've been in church. And so and folks look to you and to be blessed by you. I really want you to talk about, if you don't mind, what your aspirations were before you began sacrificing for your family, because we've kind of come full circle to where you're doing some wonderful things now. Yes. Like, literally, I've been able to turn on the TV and see you on the Jimmy Kimmel Show and some other shows. I'm not going to be able to name all of them. You can probably do that for us. But I admire you so, because you've done your sacrificing, and you've said, I'm going to live again and kind of revive some things that I thought maybe I wouldn't have an opportunity to do. Mm-hmm. Could you speak to some of that, please?
Sure. When I was growing up, I started singing at the age of 5 years old in church. That's why I knew I had a voice, in church. And I sang in church, in the kindergarten choir, in the youth choir, in the young adult choir, in the mass choir. And we were giving concerts a lot, especially in our mass choir. We were doing a whole lot of concerts and whatnot. And we just knew one day that we were going to record. We just knew we were, but we never did. Our pastor died a few years back, and we didn't get to record. But in growing up, I always thought that maybe, especially when I got to college, and I started my degree when I first started in college was voice, and I decided to change it, huh?
I did not know that.
When I started in voice. I did it for a year and a half, and then I decided that I didn't want to do that because I wanted to teach. Then I decided I wanted to teach, so I went into business education, accounting, data processing. When I went to the choir at Norfolk State University, that's where I got both of my degrees, my BS and my MS degree. From Norfolk State University, and I thought at that point, before I got married, because I did start college before I got married, I thought that I would perhaps one day sing, make records, or sing with somebody, gospel group, or something like that. And then I decided. And don't do what I did, young people. If you're up here and you're young, real young, don't do what I did. Don't get married at 18 years old, okay? 18 years old, I got married.
Wow.
I was mature enough to be married. I was mature enough to be married because I know what it took to take care of children, to work, because I had been working since I was 16 years old. Yeah. So I knew what it took to work and whatnot. But my mother and father were good to me now. And I was one of the last ones that left out of the house. I have two siblings that are younger than I, but I was above them. But it was like 4 of us left at the house out of 10 children, because it was 10 children. So it wasn't like I couldn't get things a lot because all the other children were out of the house. So my mother and father were just taking care of the 4 of us at that time when I left. But then I got grown. And I decided I wanted to get married.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I got married.
We started smelling ourselves around 18.
Huh?
I said we all start smelling ourselves around
18. And then at 19, I had you.
Yep.
I had you at 19. Yep. So that meant that I had to put what I wanted to do on the back burner, okay? Yeah. Because I started having a family, and I had to start helping take care of the family. Yeah. So that's what I did. So growing up, I had 2 more children, 2 boys, and then I still couldn't do what I wanted to do because of the fact that I had children. Right. So then I ended up getting divorced, and I couldn't do anything then because I had to take care of my children. Right. So I hadn't even thought about it anymore, really, because I think you and AJ asked me one day, Mama, would you ever go to singing now or whatever way you wanted to do? I said, no, I don't think so. I think it's a little bit too late for that. I think I'm okay as I am now. And lo and behold.
Before you go here, before you go to your lo and behold, let me just stress that now that you've told kind of your beginning story, all the while you were just supporting your family. I've been doing a lot of singing. I've been doing a lot of traveling. My brothers have been traveling and in relationships and going through school and getting doctorates and all this stuff we've been doing. And you have been totally supportive of all of that, coming to all of our stuff and all of that. And whenever we ask you about you, you're like, no, I'm fine. So go ahead, do your lo and behold.
Well, that's what we do for our children, right? Even when they're grown, they're still your children.
Yeah.
And sometimes they need help, and then sometimes you as a parent need help.
Right.
So, you just do what you have to do. That's what we do in life. That's what we do in life most times. That's what we do. But then I started, Nikki and I were singing with Peggy Britt and the Philharmonics at one point.
Yep.
And she started doing so much theater that we had to let it go because she was having rehearsals when they were having rehearsals, and you had to come to rehearsals. Rehearsals. That's how Dr. Peggy Britt was. So you had to come to rehearsals. So we had to stop that because she was doing theater with Robert Wynne Jackson. And and I was going to those rehearsals too. And at one point, he even asked me to be in the play.
You might as well, you were there. You might as well have done it.
It was the sound of music. And I know I couldn't act. I know I couldn't act. and Robert said, now, if you don't do this thing like I tell you to do this thing, I'm going to take it away from you. I said, and?
You are not hurting me at all, sir.
I could have cared less. But anyway, he let me do it. It was okay. When I was doing the acting, I said, I don't want to act, I want to sing. That's what I was thinking, you know. That's what I was thinking. I don't want to act, I want to sing. Going forward, lo and behold, my husband, I got married for a second time, and my husband passed 4 years ago. And at the time when I started singing with Peggy Britt again, he had passed, it was 2 years. And I got this text one day that said that Pharrell was starting a gospel choir, and that he was holding auditions. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. And then the text came back and said, I want you to go and audition. I said, oh, okay. So then I reached out to Trinace. I reached out to her.
Trinace.
Trinace.
Listen,
Nikki.
Don't nobody in my family call me Trinace.
Trinace, Nikki. I want your listeners to know both of your names.
Okay. Since you gave them to me. Okay, go
ahead. I decided to go ahead and do it after I talked to my daughter. We decided to do it together.
Yay.
So you had to send audition tapes in. And so she did hers on her end, and I did mine on my end. I don't know if mine got mixed up. I don't know what happened. But anyway, they did call me for an audition. I said, wow, okay, Lord. Is it not too late, Lord?
And we ended up auditioning together.
At the same time.
Yeah, we sang separately, and it just so happened, you know, when all that stuff comes out, it'll be really cool to experience because we were able to do it together, and we were able to do it in front of Pharrell. That was wonderful. As a result of that, because you live in the area, you've been rehearsing with them and you've been traveling with them. Can you talk about how that feels for you to now be doing at least a piece of, because you're doing gospel music, you're doing it for audiences around the world. Literally, you were at the Global Citizens Festival in Central Park in New York, where everyone around the world was watching. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels like the Lord has really blessed me. He has really shined on me. And when I think to myself, I said, I could have had this years ago had I done what the Lord told me to do, you know, but he always brings you back. He always brings you back because of his mercy and his grace. And because I'm so well accepted with the other singers that are in the group, because I am the oldest in the group. I'm the oldest one in the group of everybody. Okay. That's the bishop and everybody. I'm the oldest one in the group. And they respect me so well. I am so godly proud of them. Because of the way that they even help and tend to me. Because they do help me a lot. They really do.
They honor you. We've always experienced this, Mama. I share you as a mama to a whole lot of people. I just get used to it. Everybody else's mama. I get used to it. But you shared me with a whole lot of people as well. And I'm just so blessed to see other people honoring you in the ways that they do, because you deserve it. And what's funny is, you know, you're around a lot of folks that may be a bit or a lot younger than you.
A lot
But
younger.
you are holding your own. Do you hear me? As it relates to the concert, the live concert that culminated that whole experience, you closed out the show and closed it.
God.
Yes, I know. To God be the glory, and He used you to close it out. So I'm just saying. So I am so godly proud of you. I want to make sure, as we're closing out, I want to make sure that I just ask that you would give advice to those who feel like it may be too late for them as it relates to dreams and things that they want to do. Like, you are literally a testament to having dreams at 17 and 18, and then kind of your life being put on pause, that part of your life being put on pause with marriage and children and church and all of, and school and work, all of the things that you sacrifice, and now being able to come full circle back to that. Someone who's thinking it's too late for me, I'm too old, I got too much going on, what advice would you give them?
Keep pushing. It's never too late.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the shows now, the singing shows, the competitions that they're having on American Idol and the talents show, if you're looking at all of those things now, you see that there are people that are going up there that are old. I mean, old. I think I even saw somebody that was 70-something, 80-something years old up there on America's Got Talent. So it's never too late. If that's what you want to do in life, if that's what you, and if you're in a place where you can do it, why not do it?
Right.
If you've raised your children, if they're grown, they're out of, out of the way. Even if you've retired, why not?
Yeah.
Why not do it?
Yeah.
Because God will help you do it if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it the right way, though.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it the right way.
Let me add to, so singing, writing a book, speaking, painting, whatever it is, I hear you.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, I hear you saying it's never too late.
And they do all of those things on the different shows too.
Yeah.
Poetry and all of that. All of that's now out, on TV and whatnot. It wasn't out when you were out. I know you wish I had been, right?
Right. All we had was Star Search.
Yeah, but all of those things are out now where you can, and you don't have to have those things to maneuver you and push you. You can do it yourself.
Social media.
Yeah. And Facebook is really something now, isn't it?
Yeah. And let me say something, because, that's the medium we're using right now. Yeah. And as we're for real closing, I'm looking to see if there are any questions or any comments before we close. I see a whole lot of congratulations and great communication.
Oh, that's so
It's
sweet.
not too late. I can't wait for you to read some of these, Mama, because they're showing you a whole lot of love.
Oh, thank you.
But I just want to honor you, because I'll get to say this to you whenever I want to, but often we're in Real Women Sister Circles together, or you come to so many of my speaking engagements or preaching ministry engagements. And so I get to honor you in those spaces.
Can I say something about Real Women?
Yes, ma'am. That's
yes. Please, can I say something about Real Women, please? A few years back, I believe it was 2013, my daughter started Real Women, and she did it because of her own feelings and issues that she had, and she needed a safe place, and that's what Real Women does, give you a safe place. In her doing that, she found that there were a lot of other women that needed safe places and people to talk to, without people going out and talking about them or telling their business. Because a lot of times people don't have those things available to them. Right. They go tell a girlfriend or somebody else, and then it's all over gossiping. Right. And we don't want those kinds of things. So that's what Real Women does. Right. When I first started with my daughter in Real Women, they asked me a question. The question was I think it was she and Sheba and somebody else. I think it was three of you. I think, and maybe Sherry. I don't know, but there was three of you that asked me a
Mhm.
question about real women,
Mhm.
about what can real women teach me? Because I think you were doing the age groups then, like 20s, 30s, 40s,
Yeah.
50s, 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And she was asking me then what real women could teach me.
Mhm.
And I said, nothing. That's exactly what I said. I said, nothing. They said, Mama, nothing. I said, I don't think,
Now y'all
but,
getting the real. This is the real right here.
but as I went along and I was attending the meetings and listening to the young ladies, because they are some dynamic young ladies that are in Real Women.
Yeah.
And they speak from the core,
Yeah.
and they're well educated and intelligent women.
Yeah.
And they know a lot, and they've seen a lot, and they've done a lot, and a lot has happened to them in the years that they've been here. So
Yeah.
they can tell you some things.
Yeah.
And as I started going to the meetings and I started going to the intensives, I said, you know what? They can tell me something.
Mm.
They
Mm.
can tell me
Oh,
something.
mommy. Yeah.
And the first thing that I learned was I would know how to speak to the now generation,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because I'm from the old generation.
Right.
So it would help me to learn to how to speak to those women who were a lot younger than I
Yeah.
in a way that they would accept it.
Yeah.
It also taught me that those women had gone through some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't even thinking about myself as I was growing up.
Yeah.
And I was having children and in my marriage and whatnot. I went through some things too. So
Yeah.
why shouldn't I think that they are going through some things?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were going through a lot of things. So Real Women has helped me
Mm.
to grasp what
Mm.
I need in order to help others,
Mm.
and then to help propel myself as well.
You're gonna make me cry. That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, because it really is ageless. You know, like we really, every generation has something to offer another generation.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I am just so blessed. Number one, I'm blessed by our relationship, because you have always been the person where you can talk to me about anything. And you've also said, I've heard you say, I love my children, but I don't put nothing past them. So
I taught you. I taught you right,
yes,
but I can't say what you do behind my back. Okay,
yes,
I
absolutely,
can't. I can't.
absolutely.
That's just the same thing. My mom and daddy couldn't say what I would do behind their back.
Right. And what that taught me was to be authentic with my kids,
Mm-hmm.
to really give of myself, because then they would feel comfortable talking to me if I was authentic with them. And so you really taught me a whole lot about being a mommy, being a wife, and being a woman, just period. And the fact that you give of yourself in Real Women, you're a volunteer and a team member, and you support us just nonstop. You're always supporting your children and others. And so in this
That's
Mother's
the
Day
way it
season,
should be.
I honor you and I love
Oh,
you.
thank you.
And I'm just so glad that God gives us every day, every week, every month that He gives us together. I don't take it for granted. So thank you.
Thank you.
Do you
It's
have?
been a pleasure having you be my daughter.
Oh my goodness! Yay. It's been a pleasure being your daughter.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for that. Y'all, we are silly and we funny, and we also we're also you know what? I'm gonna put you on the spot. I really am.
Go ahead.
I would love for you, and I'm gonna close out while you're thinking about it, but I'd love for you to give us one verse of something. If you could sing one verse of something as
Oh.
just think about that for a
Mm.
second. But while you're thinking, I really appreciate you all joining us. This is something that we do. We have a real conversation with real women every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And shortly after this, if not tonight, tomorrow morning, I'll be announcing our next guest for next week. You don't want to miss that. And we just really hope that you'll go to our website, realwomenrock.com. realwomenrock.org. Again, realwomenrock.org to check out our new virtual circles that are coming out in May. We will post them this week. We just had our April virtual sister circles and they were amazing. We had almost 100 women at our last one. And so we want you to be a part of it. Women were from California and Georgia and New York and Florida. They were from all over the country. And we would love for you to be there with us as well. So tune in for those dates and we'll be back with you next week. We love you guys. All right, close us out, Mommy.
I'm free. Praise the Lord. I'm free. No longer bound. No more chains holding me. My soul is resting. It's just a blessing. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm free. I am free. Praise the Lord. I'm free. No longer bound. No more chains holding me. My soul is resting. It's just a blessing. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm free. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm free.
Woo! Yes! That's my mama, y'all. That's my mama. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love
And
you.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, but I'll see you all next week. Love y'all. Bye-bye.